Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to do a webinar. The title is Online Marketing for Assisted Living Facilities, Home Care Agencies, and Senior Service Providers. And my name is Valerie Van Boeven. I'm with LTC Expert Publications. We do these presentations every month on different topics. And our sponsor today is Perfect Placement Solutions. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of bio information about who Perfect Placement Solutions, who they are and what they do. Some of you have run into this model before, but we want to introduce these two fabulous ladies. So with over 30 years of combined experience serving seniors and their families, Perfect Placement Solutions provides personalized guidance to help families choose an ideal assisted living, nursing home, or home care option. Today our sponsors are sisters Michelle Woodbury and Allison Powers, and they understand the issues and confusion associated with senior living and home care options. So they are operating out of the state of Massachusetts, and they have done a lot of work to get all of this together and to help you all find out more about this presentation today. So I want to thank them for helping us, and if you want to contact Allison or Michelle, their phone number is 508-564-0192, or you can look at their website at perfectplacementsolutions.com, perfectplacementsolutions.com. And Allison or Michelle, do you want to give us a little elevator speech on what you guys do and who you serve? I'm sure that your lines are muted. Your cell phones are probably muted. You might have to unmute yourselves.
Yeah, I don't think we are on mute, but I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. Great.
Okay. Perfect Placement Solutions is a senior living referral agency. We just started operating about 6 months ago. We're excited to be joining this market and looking forward to becoming a great resource for seniors and their families, as well as to healthcare professionals in southeastern Massachusetts. And we want to thank you all for joining us on this webinar today, and we hope you find it as valuable as we did.
Great. Thank you so much. And guys, if you want to network with them, know more about them, these are a couple of gals that are really go-getters, and they're going to make a big impact in their area. So be sure and connect with them. And they serve, you said southeastern Massachusetts?
Yep, southeastern Massachusetts.
Perfect. Okay. So 508-564-0192, and that's our commercial for Perfect Placement Solutions. So today what we're going to talk about is, can families find you online? What works best? Does the design of your website work for you or against you? And we're going to show you some live examples of this. The importance of Google Maps and how to master it. Social media, what should you really be doing now and that's useful versus what's kind of not useful. Why video is extremely important for marketing online, and you can do this. Who's winning the internet battle in your territory? Are you in the game? I want you guys to get prepared because I'm going to ask you your city and state and what you do, whether it's home care, assisted living, or some other senior service, and we'll go live online and I will tell you who's winning in your area. Does the person answering the phone in your company help or hurt turning a prospect into a sales opportunity? I want to we're going to do a little role play here. I'm going to do a little example. I can't use a real live recorded call because that would be a violation of, privacy and HIPAA law. But I will tell you that we have heard some doozies in our lead generation activities. So we want to share with you what we really do here, and I'm going to tell you we're not exaggerating on this one, and what the right way is to answer the phone. And you need to listen to how your staff sounds when they answer the phone. I will tell you that it is a true eye-opener. Lead nurturing, how to stay top of mind while the prospect continues to research. So we're going to talk about that. I call it lead care, lead nurturing, follow-up failure. We have all kinds of names for that. So I think you're going to get some real value out of this webinar, and we're going to continue on here. Okay, so let's talk about whether or not families can find you online and what works best. For those of you who are web savvy, you will already understand what this looks like or what I'm looking at here on the screen. And for those of you who are not as web savvy, this may be a little confusing, so I put some arrows and information here. So first of all, if I were to type in the words assisted living St. Louis, Missouri, or St. Louis, Mo, Go Cards, by the way, Go Cards, woohoo. The first thing people are going to see are these top 3 results right here. These are paid results. The next thing that people are going to see are the Google Places section. This is the maps. And we're going to talk about that. Well, we're not going to do that. And then the next thing people are going to see is the natural search engine results, which are down here below the Google Maps. We're going to look at each one of those, and I'm going to tell you how you can be up here in Google Places, how you can get more visibility, and all of that. By the way, I want to talk about questions and answers for a moment. We are going to take questions and answers. Oftentimes, the best part of any webinar is the question and answer portion. And because all of your lines are muted, you are not going to be able to just ask questions whenever you want. We had over 100 people sign up for this webinar, and there are going to be a lot of people on it. So to open up all the lines would be craziness. So what I suggest you do is you all have a little control panel on your screen, and you can type in a question anytime you want. So go to that little control panel where it says questions, and you can type in a question, and the only people that can see that question are the moderators. That's not something that everybody can see. So you don't need to raise your hand. All you need to do is type in your question, and at the end of the webinar, I will go through every single question, and I will outline them all for you and answer them all. So with that, I'm going to keep on going here. And can everybody hear me okay? Can George and everybody, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, you hear you fine.
Okay. All right. So if you're having any trouble hearing me, you might want to turn up your speakers on your phone, because I'm as loud as I can get. All right. Here we go. Okay. So we've looked at, and this is, I wanted to show you this other example too. Now, because this webinar is for assisted living and home care and any other senior service provider. So I just did some examples on home care and on assisted living. So if I type in a similar situation, if I type in home care St. Louis, Missouri, I get 3 paid results. And in this case, I actually get some natural results that show up above the maps. And I'm happy to tell you that one of the natural results that beat the map here is our client. And he is, not only is he good enough to be on the #1 on this page, but he is so good that he beat out all these people and beat out the entire map placement. So we do have, there are ways to beat the maps. Not all the time, but occasionally that will happen. So sometimes you'll get some natural results that will come above Google Maps. But the reality is, most of the time at the top, it's going to be paid in Google Places. So let's talk about this. Does your website work for you or against you? Now let me go back one more time and make one just comment here on this. The people in your area who are getting the most leads, the people who are knocking it out of the park, are these people up here at the top. 75% of people who are searching for a solution to their problem are going to click on some natural result here at the top of the first page of Google search. So if you are not here in this top area, and I don't mean that you have to be in the paid area, you don't have to be there. But if you're not in this top area here with natural results and Google Places, sort of above the scroll line, then you're not going to get many leads at all, maybe a lot of employment calls. But what we want for all of you is to know that the people who are really knocking it out of the park and are getting all the leads are the people who are up here in the top section. And I guarantee you that if you took this, you could type in home care Miami, Florida, home care Plano, Texas. You can type in anything you want, or assisted living in Houston, or whatever you want to type in here. And the people at the top of these pages are the ones that can honestly tell a difference and know that they're getting leads from the internet. Because people aren't going to dig and dig and dig and dig to find you. If your website is the only purpose it's serving is to be a calling card, then you're not making the best use of it. Because if it's buried on page 3, then it's probably not getting any use at all. So let's talk about design of your website a little bit. I'm going to show you some very clear examples of what to do and what not to do. And I love this part because I love picking out bad examples. But Anyway, the elements of a 2011 website design that generate leads. First of all, you have to have a clear call to action. If you don't have a very large telephone number, call now, call today, talk to a home care expert now, talk to an assisted living expert now, 1-800, blah, 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 blah. If you don't have that or a form to fill out, then the people will do nothing at all. They'll just click around on your site. Clear, very large call to action. Communication choices. That means that you might have a telephone number on your front, on the home page of your website that's very large that tells people what to do, or you might have a form for them to fill out, or you might have both, and both is probably the best option. Some people will call, some people will fill out forms. Some people will do neither, but they will visit your website, and if it's the right one, they will come back again and again, and they will make that call eventually. You need to give them a couple of choices on communication preference. Search engine optimized. I'm not sure if everybody really knows what that means. People act like they know what it means, but I'm not convinced that typically our clients know what search engine optimized really, really means. And what it means is this. If you have a website and your pages aren't titled correctly, if there are no descriptions, no keywords, it could be the prettiest website that was ever built, and you could spend 10 grand on a beautiful, gorgeous, interactive website. But if it's not search engine optimized, and I will say this too, that we deal with web designers all the time, and their job is to design a website that looks the way you want it to look and functions the way you want it to function. They are not search engine optimization professionals or experts most of the time. Their job is to make you happy by the way your website looks, not by the way it actually functions when somebody types in home care, St. Louis, Missouri. So search engine optimization is something that we find time and time again. Someone spent a lot of money and a lot of time on a gorgeous website, but there's no description, the page titles are wrong, the HTML or the CSS coding hasn't been done correctly. There's no way for a person to type in home care St. Louis or home care Boston or home care Baltimore and actually find that website. So it's not serving all the purposes that it should serve. So make sure your website is search engine optimized. It should be visually appealing. And then we have people on both ends of the spectrum for visual appeal. I don't think that you need a $10,000 website. I would never tell you that. I don't believe that you have to spend a ton of money on a website. But what I do believe is that it has to look professional and it needs to look clean and easy to navigate. So visually appealing is good. When you look professional, it doesn't have to be an award winner. Interactive. Your website should be somewhat interactive. It should have some links to your Facebook pages, and we'll talk about social media later. YouTube channel, your Twitter, all the different things that people can use to interact with you. It should have a contact us page. It should have a form. It should have a big giant phone number. So it should be interactive. Your blog post should be showing up. There should be evidence of a newsletter. And it should be content rich. If there's one thing that I can't stress enough in a webinar like this, and we do these all the time, it's that you have to have content that is new, different, and original on your website all the time. If you don't have a blog on your website, and by that I mean like a news section where you're posting new information about all the events you're involved in your community, if you don't have blog posts and videos, then you're never, ever, ever going to make it to the first page as far as I'm concerned. You might in a small town, I'll take that back, in a small town or in a rural area, you may be able to optimize your website and be on page 1. But if you're in Miami, Boston, New York City, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, San Diego, it's never going to happen without having some more content. Content is king. The website is becoming social media as well as one that's searchable. So you need to have content all the time. Blog posts and videos are not an option. They are mandatory. If you're in a competitive market, you have to talk to people. You have to be a human being. You have to share in order to get people to be interested and for you to be found. Okay, so I did a search. I'm going to show you what a good website is versus a not so good website. And no offense to these folks, but we're going to just look at it. So I picked a city and state, home care, Indianapolis, Indiana. So I went ahead and did that search. You can see that the first 3 results are paid results, so I'm going to move on beyond those. These 2 didn't really appeal to me so much, but I found this, visiting nurse services, and I thought, oh, there's a provider of home care services. Kind of stuck out to me. Top, it's pretty good, pretty good. So I liked that one, so I thought, well, I'll click on that and see what they have to offer. And here's what I find. Not so good. Now, not so bad. I realize this is probably a nonprofit organization, and they do a lot of things for the community. But to be honest with you, this would be an example of a website that would not function well in a competitive market. It wouldn't function, period. So all the kudos in the world to the Visiting Nurse Services of Indiana, but this is not a good website. So first of all, let's look at why. Okay, so you can see my arrows here. At the very top here, you can see really small up in the right-hand side. It says contact us. Well, or you can, really big, you can make a donation. Or children cope with divorce. You can read about that. But that's not really what I'm looking for. I have an aging parent who needs home care. What does children cope with divorce have to do with the visiting nurses? I don't know. But whatever the case, this just isn't a good, it's a little outdated. It needs to be redone. And, they do all kinds of good things, and that's great. And they have great placement on the first page of Google for Home Care Indianapolis, Indiana. But their website leaves a huge amount to be desired. So this is an example of one that would not make it to my top anything, not my top 1,000 websites. This one's looking a little better. Now, if this one has all the elements that I would require in a website. So first of all, you've got a really big call to action at the top. Call Rick or Donna. It tells you what to do. It tells that overwhelmed adult child of an aging parent what to do and what to do right now. Call Rick or Donna at 832-271-1600. Call them. Click here to talk with a home care expert. Okay, that's another option. Here's a video they can watch, and look what that video says. Call today, 832-271-1600. And right here, at this, right down here, on you can't see it. I couldn't get the whole. This is like above or below the fold a little bit. Not as prevalent, but definitely on their website is talk to a home care expert. Now, this is a form. If you want to see what this looks like, you can go to houston-homecare.com. Houston-homecare, all one word, .com. Houston-homecare.com. This is their website. You can click around on it, look at it. They have their social media right up front, so you can connect with them there. They have a blog, which is right here. I'll show you a little bit more on that. So there's no doubt in anyone's mind how to get a hold of these people. Call them right now. Here is their phone number. There's a form you can fill out. You can contact us. You don't have to guess at how to get a hold of these people. It's right there, very prevalent. And that's what a good website should be doing. Here's an assisted living facility, same situation, a similar kind of a theme where they have a phone number right here at the top, 1-800 or 800-311-4880. Call us. And they have a form instead of a video right here. 5 things you must know before choosing an assisted living facility. Great call to action. Put your name and your email in. They're not asking you for anything, and then show me the video. And as soon as you click on show me the video, boom, the video page shows up. So it really works well. There's, of course, much more to this website. This one is at autumngrove.com. Autumngrove.com is this website if you want to look at it yourself. They have a blog. They have all kinds of stuff. So this is an example of a really good website. And there's something I want to point out about this Autumn Grove website is that they get tons of leads from this website. And majority of them, almost 100% of them, not quite all, but a lot of them are by phone. So they have lots of locations inside this website and that, but every single phone call that comes in is recorded. Every single phone call is documented, and every single phone call is documented as to whether it's an employment call, a lead, a wrong number, And I can tell you that without fail, they get tons and tons of leads off this website. They do no pay-per-click, 0 pay-per-click. And this is a Houston-based assisted living group, and they have dominated with natural results. They have dominated for almost all of their areas that they service, and they consistently get leads from their website through the phone mostly, sometimes through the forms and that. They do get a lot of contact us forms, by the way, and they do get employment forms filled out. They have also schedule a visit, which is a drop down here. So this is a really good lead generating type of website. And then this is the blog, and I put this right here. This is my, this is my word. This is my words I added. This is not really on their blog. It's not really on their website. But the blog is so important. If you don't know what a blog is, go to autumngrove.com and look at one. Look under education and look at read our blog. These are blog posts, and we do this on purpose. These are very purposeful search engine optimized blog posts. And part of their success, not all of it, but part of it, is having a very robust and very well-designed website that is completely search engine optimized, and we add new content to it constantly. Almost every other day we put blog posts up here. And I'm not saying that you have to do that as often as we do, but we have a very serious goal in mind for these people, and that is that when you are in Houston, Texas, this is our client, and we want them to be your first choice for assisted living. So Autumn Grove Cottage is everywhere for all kinds of different keywords in Houston. So that's one of the things that I wanted to point out to you. So let's talk about what is Google Places, why is it important, and how to master it. Now, Google Places is that map section that I talked to you about before. And so I put the screenshot up here again. You can see my little arrow. All these little red upside-down teardrops, these little pins, these are this is Google Places. Now, my screenshot looks weird over here. The map, this is a scrolling screenshot, so the map got kind of disturbed over here on the right. But basically, these are the little Google Places results that you want to get. Now, in this example I showed you earlier, our client is above the map, which is fine too, but Google Places typically is the first thing people see when they type in assisted living or home care, their city and state. And so you want to make sure that you're in the Google Maps section. And that can be a little hard to do if you don't know what you're doing. I can tell you that in any major city, if you look at Miami, Sarasota, Houston, Dallas, San Diego, anywhere that's a big city, the people that are really placing well for Google Places, they're doing well, that are on the top, they have probably hired someone to take care of that for them. I can almost guarantee that, and usually I can tell by looking at it. They have a team or an agency or someone who's good at SEO who has taken care of their Google Places. We do that for people all the time because without somebody who knows that, and just to give you an example, in the internet marketing world, people buy from us as a group all the time a 40-page PDF with 23 accompanying videos that shows them how to master Google Places. So although I could show you that, it would take me a whole nother session to do that. It would take, it's like 21 videos. It's probably like 3 hours of video and a 40-page PDF. That's step-by-step hand-holding through the process of how to make a Google Places page work and how to be #1. And it's we get lots of compliments on it all the time, and we sell that to folks. But that's just to show you, I just said that not because we want you to buy that, but that's just because we want you to know that it does take a ton of work and consistency. If you're not already in the 7-pack, that is what we call it, and you go on the first page of Google with Google Places, it takes a lot of work. If you have multiple listings, if over time, we've run into all kinds of problems where people have had businesses, been the second or third business owner, there's 3 or 4 listings. It takes a lot of time and energy to straighten out problems. If you upset the Google monster, they will delist you, and it's upsetting. So the basic things to know is this, that your website needs to be search engine optimized. We've already talked about that. You need to have the right keywords and the right descriptions and the right titles in the right places. Without that, your Google Places page will suffer. You cannot have any duplicate listings. You can't have fake listings. You can't use P.O. boxes. You can't use mailboxes, etc. And you can't use UPS store. You have to have a real listing. So, great example. If you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and that's where your office is located, but you want to show up for all of Phoenix, Arizona, you need to go get a virtual office in Phoenix, Arizona, because you will never show up in Phoenix, Arizona with a Scottsdale address. It's not, we all understand that everybody serves a big territory with lots of big cities in it, but without a physical address in the next town over, you're never going to show up for that town, unless you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're in a rural area, and you may show up for several little towns around you because there is nothing else. That does happen. But for any big city, if you're like located in Naperville, Illinois, and you want to show up for Chicago, Illinois, Naperville is a suburb of Chicago. You will not show up in Chicago because your address is in Naperville. So that's hard for the course. There are ways to correct it, but you have to be willing to get a virtual office, which is a real address, not a P.O. box or mailboxes, etc. No keyword stuffing. Most of you probably don't know what that means, but when you set up your Google Places page, if you write in the title of your Google Places page, Home Care St. Louis, Missouri, Home Care Baldwin, Missouri, Home Care Ellisville, Missouri, Home Care St. Charles, Missouri, and that's your title of your business, you'll just get delisted because it's spammy. And then get professional help. If you're really having trouble getting your listing in the top 7 on page 1, ask for help. People pay for help all the time with their Google Places. And I don't mean $4.99 help. Putting up a listing, I mean, this is what's called reputation management. Google Places can make you or break you in some instances. You always want to be monitoring it. You always want to be adding citations, which I know you don't know exactly what that means. But it's a lot of work, and it's worth it in the end, because the person, you know that commercial with that cute little girl, Susie's Lemonade, she's got the lemonade stand, and at the end of the commercial it says the business with the best technology wins. Well, the business with the best Google Places wins. So don't be afraid to spend money on Google Places. It's worth every dime. Okay, social media, what should I be doing and what is important? First of all, you need to understand, let's talk about Facebook first. Facebook is one of the most important social medias, and so is LinkedIn. Facebook, LinkedIn, those two are at the top for social media. Neither one or the other will get you new clients, but if it all works together, then you will get new clients. So for Facebook, you need to understand the difference between a business page and a personal account. I have a personal account for Valerie Brothers Van Booven, and I have business pages that are for Valerie, the Elder Care Expert, or Valerie, the Elder Care Marketing Expert, or whatever it is. I have business pages and I have a personal account. My personal account kind of mixes business and kids and family. I'm not afraid to show people what my kids look like. I don't get hung up in all that. I try not to deal with crazies too often. So you know, we really have kind of mixed it up a little bit for me. But we have business pages that have nothing to do with our personal lives. And that's what you should be setting up for your business, is a business page, not a personal account. I see a lot of folks out there who have done this the wrong way. So they have set up a personal account that would be like, and I'm just going to pick on Comfort Keepers for a second, only because I see a zillion of them. I see all the franchises have done this, but their first name is Comfort and their last name is Keepers. That's not the right way to set up an account. Now, if you have done this and you have 2,000 friends and you're set up as Comfort Keepers, well, it's against the Facebook terms of service, but whatever, you might as well keep it that way now. So, but having a business page is really important. So this has no personal data in it, and it's all your blog posting and that. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. You should have a robust and attractive business page, meaning that when people visit it for the first time, they see something cool. They don't see a bunch of blog posts or a bunch of inane, weird stuff that they don't understand. They see something cool that attracts them to you. And I'll show you what that means. you need to load your business page with content from your website and your blog post. So for instance, what we do is every time we blog post on our clients' blogs, those blog posts shoot out into the universe and automatically land on the Facebook pages, business pages of our clients. So when I showed you the Autumn Grove, their blog, the last 2 blog posts we had up there, if you look at their Facebook business page today, you'll see those blog posts on their Facebook business page. We do that automatically, and that provides your Facebook page with ongoing content. And then you need to consider having a promotional campaign. Do a little press release stuff. I'm going to show you an example of what that means. This is a Facebook business page designed specifically for a campaign. This is not the Facebook business page that this company would promote all the time necessarily. But for Veterans Day coming up November 11th, this is their Facebook promotional. You can have as many business pages as you want. So it doesn't matter that they already have a Synergy Home Care of Northwest Houston page. They just want to do this one as a promotion. So they're putting out press releases that we've helped them write. And what they're looking for is for people in the Houston area who have a loved one who may be injured in an act of war, to write to them and talk to them about what their lives are like or what happened, and they're going to make donations on behalf of Veterans Day to the Wounded Warriors Project in their name when they put up a post. So really neat promotion. Did a big press release. The press will be very interested in this. It just went up the other day, so it's not got a lot of traffic yet. And they're doing a little Facebook advertising, which is pretty cheap, $30 or something to run an ad for a week, and to draw people in the Houston area to this campaign so they can get more visibility. So this is a really good, honorable, and cool thing that Synergy Northwest Houston office is doing. They came up with the idea, and we just kind of helped them put it together. Here's another one. The Visiting Nurse Services of New York. This is a contest that they ran. It's not this year. It was, I think, last year. But they ran a caregivers contest. And first prize was an inspirational mom named Elizabeth Biondi. Then Jeannie Kircher won, and then Matt Jordan won. So they had a contest. It was actually run off their website, but they had a big Facebook page that kind of helped advertise it, promote it. The Visiting Nurse Services of New York also have a really nice welcome page and a really nice video wall. So if you go to Facebook and you type in Visiting Nurse Service of New York, you'll find their page with all the different stuff they have on it. Okay, let's talk about video for a moment. I know most of you don't want to spend a whole lot of budget money on having videos created, nor do you know what you should have created, what you should say, or what to do. So we often run into this, and we have solutions for video. Video is not, I would tell you this from the marketing perspective, if you're in a big metro area, video is not an option anymore. Video is mandatory. And it not only helps with your website visibility, but it helps with your social media. It helps people get to know you better. It's the right thing to do, and it doesn't have to be expensive. So we do, when the client signs up with us, we do between 3 and 5 videos for them that are commercial in nature. So, of course, this is just a screenshot of one of the videos that we've done. If you want to see some of the other videos we have, if you go to youtube.com/video LTC, so go to youtube.com and put /video LTC. You can see our entire suite of videos that we've done now, but I'm going to show you a couple more examples here. At the end of every video, we do very short videos. You can see this one's 45 seconds. At the end of every video, now these are voiced over, they have a script, they're very, just like a TV commercial. At the end, we do a call to action. It's very important that you don't do a video and then just leave it with nothing at the end. You need to have a call to action. So our voiceover guy, our professional voiceover artist, says call today, 888-796-5702, or visit us online at homecareplano.com. So Every video has a call to action at the end. Tell people what you want them to do next. Pick up the phone and call or visit our website. And of course, on the website, it says pick up the phone and call or fill out a form. So you're driving them to the website and you're giving them instructions. Same messages over and over again. This is the example of a custom done YouTube channel. We create one for all of our clients. Some clients have more videos than others. But for instance, in this case, this one is Home Care Sarasota. This is our Sarasota, Florida client. And he has he has what we've divided his videos into what are called playlists. So in other words, he has client testimonials right here. So if you were to click on that, all of his client testimonial videos would show up. He has caregiver videos, Meet Our Caregivers. So if you click on that, all the caregiver videos would show up. Alzheimer's Care, he's got several Alzheimer's videos that we've done for him. You can click on that and see all the different ones. These are home care tips. These are the ones that the owner himself has done with a Kodak Z-I-8. And that's easy enough to buy on Amazon, Kodak Z-I-8. It's like a little flip camera. And then in the news, he's doing something on senior hunger. It's a Comfort Keepers initiative. So he's got some videos there, and he's got some About Us videos down here at the bottom. So these are called playlists. So we've divided his videos and categorized them and put them into different areas where people can find, exactly what they're looking for when they come here. It's not just a massive video. But this YouTube channel has been done in custom colors. And if I were to scroll down, which I can't because this is a screenshot, you would see his all kinds of his logos and more information about them and all kinds of stuff. So this is what a custom YouTube channel looks like when it's done nicely. Okay, and then this is something I wanted to show you. This is a blown up picture of the bottom of a blog post. So imagine up here at the top of your screen that this is a long blog post. It's too long to fit it all on the screen. So I just took the bottom of the blog post to show you. We do what's called video articles. And that's nothing more than a voiceover of the entire article. But what that does is it helps with the SEO. We have a secret sauce system that we run these videos through. And when we run them through our secret sauce system, it gives our client a ton of visibility. So on top of creating some just videos they could use sort of like commercials, we also create videos of their blog posts. So every blog post, not every blog post, but a lot of their blog posts, a lot of their pages actually too, have a video with them, and those videos are run through our systems that we have, which are uploading them to many, many different video social bookmarking sites. It's a complicated process, but what it does is it drives our clients' websites up to the top where you want to be. Okay, so now we come to a little test of the paying attention system. Here's what I want you to do. The next thing on our agenda is to talk about who's winning in your area. So what I want you to do is in the questions pane, I want you to type in your little questions thing on your little control panel. Type in what you do in your city and state. So home care, Indianapolis, Indiana, or assisted living, Boston, Massachusetts, or whatever it is, and I will go live to the internet and show you who's winning there. So let me just move this on down the road. Let's see here. Hold on a second. All right. So let's do this one. You guys are doing a good job. I can see them coming in. All right. Home Care, St. Peters, Missouri, my own hometown. Go Cards, go Cards, go Cards, Jen. Okay, so we'll do Home Care, St. Peters, and see who's winning there. All right, so and we'll keep going. You can keep typing your cities and states, and I'll do a few here. So let's type in Home Care, St. Peters, Mo. Now, I live near here, so I know some of these players. All right, so, and Jen, do you mind telling me who you work for? Because I would not remember in a million years. Oh, visiting angels, okay. So let's see who's winning. Look at you. Okay, so hold on a second here. Let's move the screen up. All right, so we've got some ads here. We've got Assistance Home Care St. Louis, St. Peter's Care and Homes, Elder Care Link, and then we've got our little map here. So here's some people who are winning. So we've got Cooperative. They seem to be doing a pretty good job. Sunshine Home Care. Look at this. They haven't even claimed their page. Naughty, naughty. Senior Help and Care. Don't know why they have O'Fallon.mo.us as their website, because that would not be them. And then we have Visiting Angels, which is, that's you. So you are in the top 7. You're doing a good job. Let's see. Let's go to your place page, and let's just take a look at it. Okay, so this is your place page, and it needs a little help, or maybe a lot. You need to put some photos in here. You need to put some, just ask for some reviews from clients. Let's see, does this go to your Visiting Angels page? Oh, it does. It goes to the Greater St. Charles one. Is that you? Miss Jen, is St. Charles you? Okay, so that's good. So that's her. All right, so you have submitted some photos. If you got any videos, put some videos up there. So good job. So you're in the top, and that's good. So you're winning here. Now, if we keep going down the row here and look at what else is happening here, A Place for Mom. Yeah, we got Place for Mom here. We have BJC, which is one of our big healthcare systems here in the St. Louis area. They can probably, because they have St. Peter's Hospital, they probably, that's probably why they're there, but they have a lot of money behind this right here. Nurses and Company, I know, Jen, that you know who they are, and they've been around St. Peter's for a long time. Senior Care Services, Right at Home. Our Parents is a national thing. There's BJC, again, so assisted living. Home Health Care Agencies is a national thing, and New Lifestyles is. So because you're up here in the top, this is awesome. If you could have some Visiting Angels content somewhere down in here, that would be great too. But you're doing really good. So that's Jen. Congratulations on that. Let's see. Let's go to Home Care Miami, Florida. All right, let's step in Home Care Miami, Florida. Okay, Miss Valerie, same name as me. Can you tell me what the name of your company is? Valerie Mason. Can you tell me your name of your company? Just type it in. And let's see who's winning here. I Help, okay. And what's your website address? Is it www.ihelpfl.com? Okay, ihelpfl.com, okay. So let's look at Miami. So first of all, whoever this is, it hasn't even claimed their place page. United Home Care Services winning, Advantis, Fatima. What's so funny about this is that some of these haven't even claimed their place page. So if you did your homework and did this right, you could really get up here in this top 7 pretty fast. Let's keep going down here. So Home Healthcare Miami FL, Home Instead, those are super pages. That's national. Alternative Home Health is doing pretty well. Home Care Profile, that's a national company. First Care Services, Imperial Living, Senior Mag, National Home Care, Care.com. Okay, so in order to, and Miami's tough, so in order to get in this area, you're going to need to make sure that that you have a really good Google Places page, that you have a really nice website. It doesn't have to be, like I said, not a $10,000 website, but a clean, easy-to-read website that is completely search engine optimized. You don't have to spend your last dime on a website, but you can spend a little bit of money on a website, and because it's not going to be instant. You're not going to instantly be on the first page of Google Maps. You're not going to instantly be on the first page of Google. But with a little time and a little care and attention, you can move up the ranks pretty fast here. So Valerie, some work to be done, but you definitely can get to where you need to be, even in a big city like Miami. And you will definitely get more leads for that, and business will take a turn. Okay, so I have assisted living, Dallas, Texas. She's left. Still living, Athens, Texas. Okay, David Daniels, are you still with us? If you are, can you just tell me what the name of your assisted living facility is? Okay, Oakwood Place. Look at you. For Athens, I don't know which way you say it, but you are at the very top. You are A, Oakwood Place Assisted Living. You're doing good there. Is Oakwood, and there's your website too. So you're not doing bad. Now, is Athens, let me ask you this, David Daniels. Is this the area that you market to only, or are you a suburb of Dallas? Are you a suburb of somewhere else? Is there a bigger city near you that you would like to show up for besides just Athens or Athens? Or is that all you need? I said, that's all you need. You're doing really well. Let's look at your website. Tyler, Texas. Okay, so you'd like to have more business come from Tyler? And if that's the case, then there's a little, okay. So you're rural, so you could probably use some updates on the website. But on the other hand, you're doing really well. People are finding you, so that's good news. So you've got a really good placement. Probably could use an updated website look, but otherwise, you've got some good placement there. Now, if you want to win Tyler, which is a little bit more complicated than just Athens or Athens, then you would definitely have to update the website and get it to be a little bit more search engine optimized. But otherwise, you're doing fine. Oh, good. Well, if you're planning on your update of your site now, then you sure give us a ring. Let's see here. Let's go back to one. Let's see. Hospice. Let's do this one. How about Home Health Boston, Mass? And then we'll do Home Health Boston, Mass. Let's do home health care. Let's see here. Lisa Donnellan, I'm probably butchering your name, but if you will tell me what the name of your business is, that would help me tremendously. Excella Healthcare. Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's see who's winning home health care in Boston. Right now, partners.org, VNA of Boston, Home Instead, Independence Home Care, Always Here, All Care, Midtown, and we're looking for Lisa, what's your website address? excellahealthcare.com. Okay, so did you already know you're not on the first page of Google? You probably knew that. Let's see here. Look. Type it in a couple different ways. See what we find. Okay, so not on the first page. So let's just look at your website for a second. We are a specialty home care working with only assisted and independent living communities. Understood. Okay. So let's go to Excella healthcare.com. Okay, not a bad website. It's probably just, let's just do a little, I'm just doing this to show everybody how they can tell how well they're optimized. So let's just look at it for a second. If you look at, this is the back side of Excella, and you can do this to any website. I'll show you how I did that again. I just went to any blank spot on the website, and I right-clicked, and you can see a little drop-down here, and I hit View Page Source. And up comes the back end of the code of the website. And you can do this to any website. And so if I look at some of this stuff, I can see description. You can see Excella Healthcare is a New England-based rehab company offering rehabilitation services in a variety of settings. So jobs, PT, jobs, OT, jobs, rehab, careers, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. So if your job, Lisa, is to get your Excella healthcare into more assisted living facilities or independent living or nursing homes, if your job is to make that happen, then you probably need a website that kind of reflects that, or part of this website needs to reflect that. Right now, they're really going to attract people who type in New England, and I realize they're everywhere, so it's hard to discern. But if your focus is Boston, or the Boston, Massachusetts, or Southeast Massachusetts, in the background of the website, it's really not helping you out very much. Although not a bad-looking website, it just is really regional and not necessarily just Boston. So that might be a problem. But otherwise, looking okay. So that's probably not why you're not on the first page of Google, because you're kind of spread out all over the place. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll go on here. Home Care, Chester County, PA. Home Care, Chester County, PA. Okay, so I am looking for Korea Reynolds. Can you tell me, Korea, what is the name of your company, Bright Star, and can you tell me what city you're closest to as opposed to the county? Berwyn, okay. All right, so let's do this. I know sometimes people, very rarely do they search by county when they're looking for home care, so let's go to Berwyn, PA. Okay, so what we have here is we have Bright Star. Are you Bright Star Westchester? Just give me a yes or a no. Yes, okay. So what we have right here is a paid ad for Bright Star, which is, it could be done by your owners or it might be done by the corporate office, not sure. And then if we keep looking down here, we don't see a whole lot. We don't see you anywhere. Bright Star should be able to move up. This is probably driving some leads, but they probably need to have some natural results in here somewhere. So if I, like right now, Service Magic is really beating everybody's pants. Gateway Home Care, this is all national stuff. I'm seeing My Senior Home Care is national, Our Parents. Let's go back to what you originally asked, which was Chester County. And if I do that, I get Always Best Care, Visiting Angels, Comfort Care, Advanced Home Helpers, Home Care Assistance of Chester, and Total Home Care. And no Bright Stars yet. So what I would do is look at Bright Star in the map section. Try to find yourself, type in your address on Google, and see what comes up in the map section. You need to have Bright Star up here in the 7-pack, and that would really be helpful for you. So you're not having to rely on pay-per-click as much, and also because, I mean, these other companies obviously got there, so you should too. These are all your big competitors, so you need to make sure you're in that 7-pack. So you need to do some work on Google Places. I would really investigate that and see what's going on there. And in the natural results, I don't see you there either, and that just maybe could be because you're new. It could be there could be all kinds of things, or maybe it's just not a well-optimized website. I know Bright Star is a national franchise, so I'm not sure how much control you have over your own, website for your own office, but maybe making a few key changes to that, just the words and some things, might be very helpful. Okay, so now you guys get a sense of what is going on out there and if you're winning or not winning and what you need to do. So let's go back here. And we do have some questions. Now, if you have questions other than what I just talked about, be sure to type those in. So let's go on to this real quick. We're going to do a couple of phone examples. Phone skills, I know that everybody's like, yeah, right, whatever. But you know what? This is amazing. And George and I are going to do a little role play here, so you're going to get a good laugh. But this is what we hear when people answer the phone. This is a common issue for most small businesses. It's one that can be fixed. It's not, but keeping this in mind, people who answer the phone, and I know this just from me being in healthcare, I know that you get the same questions from the same people wanting employment applications, and they want all kinds of different things. So I understand that sometimes answering the phone can be a bit monotonous or brain draining, but the reality is a lot of times there are people on the other end of that line that really need your help. And we don't always treat folks the way they should probably be treated. So just a very basic example. So we're going to do this little role play. So George, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So George is going to be the adult child of the aging parent. He's going to be looking for care. We're going to start with assisted living, and I'm really honestly going to do this the way we've heard some of these calls being answered. So I want you to just kind of listen. Okay, so ring ring, Acme Assisted Living.
Oh, hi. I'm calling for my mom. She's 87 and she lives alone and has some dementia. And I'm trying to find a place, a safe place for her to live. So I'm doing some research. Can you tell me what about your capability and what your costs are?
Sir, can you tell me, what area are you looking for? We have a lot of different facilities, and so what area what area does your mother live in?
My mom lives in Boston.
Okay. Well, the owner here is not right now. The marketing director is not here right now, and I can't really discuss cost over the phone. So, can I just take your name and number, and I'll have somebody get back to you?
Well, I really needed help. Right now, I only have a little bit of time off work today to make these calls. Can I talk to someone?
Well, she's the one that schedules all the tours, and so since she's not here in the office at the moment, she's out of the office, she'd have to schedule a tour with you, and I really can't do that. So can you just call back tomorrow, or can I take your name and number?
Okay.
Okay, so that is an example of what we have. It's worse than that, actually, but that's an example of some of the things that we hear, because we record all the calls that come in to our clients as in the form of leads. We want to know when they're getting leads. And so we listen to those calls, and it's been a huge eye-opener for most of these organizations. And the reality is it takes a little training and a little skill. So let's do this again, and we're going to do it in a nice way. And this time, let's do a home care one, but we'll do it in a very nice way. So ring ring, Acme Home Care. This is Valerie. May I help you?
Oh, hi, Valerie. I'm calling about my mother. She lives alone, and I'm trying to search for care for her. She recently fell down and needs help. Can you tell me about your services and what kind of costs are involved?
Well, I would be happy to help you, and I'm sorry that your mother's had a fall recently. First, can I ask your name just so I can take a few notes?
Yeah, I'm Fred Smith.
Hi, Fred. Well, Fred, first of all, what area of town does your mom live in? Is she here in the Boston area?
Yes, she is in the western area.
Okay, so then I just want to make sure that she's in our service area, and I would be happy to help you with some information on what we have available. Oftentimes, it's best if we get just a few details from you so we know a little bit more information, and then we can share with you how our program works and how we get everything set up. Would it be all right if I went and got our owner so that they could speak with you on the phone and give you that information?
Sure, that'd be good.
Okay, well, I'll just hold 1 second, and I'll be right back with our owner. Okay, so thanks, George. And so that is an example of, this is a person who, in both instances, could not maybe give the caller the information they needed, but the way they handled it was so much different. And with a little training and a little role play, I think that some of these telephone issues could be resolved. But the person that answers the telephone in your office, it may be you, it may be someone else, they are the first line of marketing when it comes to someone who's overwhelmed, worried, have called 5 other different places, and they're at the end of their rope. So, and in this economic environment, folks, every edge that you can get on telephone skills, every edge that you can get on keeping someone on the phone interested and willing to open their doors to you to let you come in and help them, you want it. You want every single ounce of edge you can get. So the person that answers the phone can make you or break you. And we have had clients that told us their phones weren't ringing, that they weren't getting any leads, that they weren't getting anything. And lo and behold, we turned those recordings on, and they started to listen to what was happening on their phones. And let me tell you, some stuff has gone down. I mean, it's just been a major change in the way phones were answered. And that's just, a matter of training and a matter of helping people understand the real gravity sometimes of the situation that these people are in. So just pay attention to who's answering your phone. Is it the 20-year-old who just graduated or is in college, or is it somebody who's, are they being empathetic? Are they not being empathetic? Could they care less? I mean, just, are they saying their name at the very least? Hi, this is Acme Home Care. This is Valerie. May I help you? Instead of saying Acme Home Care, I mean, just that difference is enough to turn somebody on or turn somebody off. So just keep that in mind. So let's talk about our last thing here, which is how to avoid follow-up failure. And follow-up failure is a sort of I call it kind of a disease that we all suffer from because we all get overwhelmed. And I'm the first to tell you that I definitely have had some follow-up failure issues in my life. I try not to be a follow-up failure person, but sometimes I am. So here's a little scenario. Here's a common theme. A prospect calls the office. They're put into a database. They're mailed some information. They speak to some knowledgeable person in the office. They ask about pricing. The prospect says, "Oh, I'll call you back in a few days after they've had time to review the materials." But the prospect never calls back. Maybe they have sticker shock. I mean, people don't realize how much assisted living and home care costs and who pays for it. Or they tell you they're going to try for 6 months to do it as a family. They're going to care for their aging loved one themselves because they're just, they'll think that mom can afford this. And so eventually that lead is lost in a sea of insanity in the office. So if it's not kept track of and you're not doing something, if you don't have a plan or a process in place, you may never hear from that person again. And that's what we call a follow-up failure or a follow-up fail. And I love my little picture of this gal. Fail. Okay, so here's what really happened. They never call back. They do have sticker shock. They tried it for 6 months to care for their aging loved one. The lead was lost in your office in a sea of insanity because there wasn't really a plan maybe. But another provider took the time to put that person on their e-newsletter list and sent them an invitation to connect on their blog, their Facebook business page, and more. And 6 months later, your competition is serving the client and has established trust, credibility, and rapport with the family. So if you don't have a regular e-newsletter or a regular set of communications that goes out to people, you need to start thinking down that line. And I call it, it's just like home care or assisted living care. It's lead care. Take care of your leads. Really nurture them and really follow up with them and really ask them how they're doing. If you do that, you'll be amazed at the increase in revenue. So lead care eliminates follow-up failure by involving the family in the online communication that your company provides. And that could be just an e-newsletter. They are connected with you in an informative and friendly way. You grow your fan base, people who are interested in knowing more about what you guys do. And you're there when that daughter, wife, sister, niece, daughter-in-law, or family needs you. And for referral partners, same rules apply. If you care for your leads, if you take on the role of making sure that everyone gets followed up with, you keep them in the loop on your online communication, they connect with you in an informative and friendly way, and they are more likely to refer to you. So that's what I call taking care of leads and avoiding follow-up failure. So now we're kind of at the end of our road here, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, what happens next? We're going to do question and answer now. So any questions that you have about your website, about Google Places, about following up with leads, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, who's winning in your area. Please put those questions on the little dashboard. And so what the next thing that happens that I would recommend is to take action, talk to us, ask us questions. George, who you just heard, he's my business partner, and he'll do a free 30-minute consultation with you to put you down the right path. And he will help you understand how learning how to do it right can save you time and money. So I would recommend that. And don't forget, I wanted to say one more word about our sponsor, Perfect Placement Solutions. If you are in southeastern Massachusetts and you want to connect with them and be, somebody that is a referral partner or just a professional connection with them, maybe LinkedIn, Facebook, or wherever, 508-564-0192, or you can visit their website at perfectplacementsolutions.com. Allison or Michelle, do you want to say any words before I start taking questions? You guys might be muted. Okay, so I am going to wait for them, but I'm going to start down the road of taking questions. Da, 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 da. Okay, a couple of things here. And Michelle or Allison, if you find that you can talk, you can just speak up anytime. But I will start with questions. Let's see. First question is, how can we get a recording of this webinar? Well, as soon as this webinar is done, it will render, and it'll take me about a few hours. And then tonight, you will get an email, and it'll be on YouTube, and you can watch it on YouTube from anywhere in the world. And I'll send everybody that registered the recording. How much do your services cost? Well, our services, it varies in price. We have stuff that's all the way from people who need low-cost solutions, who are startups, all the way to people who need high-end customization, insane stuff they want. So it's just a matter of what you need and what you want. We have all from low budgets to high budgets. We have everything in between. How do I set up a call with George? You want to just email him at george@ltcep.com or call us at 888-404-1513, 888-404-1513, and you can set up a time with George. He'll do your 30-minute consultation, and if there's anything we can help you with, we certainly will. How do you feel about putting applications online? You know what, Barbara, there is a service out there that will do applications for you kind of in a secure environment, and you can put a link to it on your website. You just have to do a Google search for applications. So I even match the application to your logo and all that stuff. I don't mind doing applications online, but I'd either do one they can print out and bring in or email in, or I would do one, they're kind of complicated to do everything online, but you could do some semblance of one. Okay, I visit doctors' offices to let them know about our agency, but I don't receive referrals from them. How can I build that rapport so the agency stays in their minds? I would make sure that you're communicating with them online and offline, and that would be the best thing. If visiting doctors' offices, I mean, they get thousands of visits. What you really want to do is present them with some material that sets you apart. So one of the things that doctors' offices are really struggling with, the physicians are, is that they want to keep their readmission rates down. So if you can put some materials together on congestive heart failure, diabetes, and things like that, that will help them understand that you all know what to look for in a client with congestive heart failure or diabetes, and how to help them with diet, or help them if their blood sugar is too high. If you all know those kinds of things and you can put flyers together to help decrease readmission rates, you probably will win that doctor's approval. What is your favorite free website template like Weebly.com? Oh, I don't do free websites, Randy. I'm sorry. I do have one that's really old. It's going to change soon, called My Senior Service. It's not free though. It's Website Tonight through GoDaddy. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of free websites. That's not good. We are a nationwide affiliate marketing company. How do we hook up with assisted living companies looking for prospects? You know, Nick, I'd have to know more about your business model, because everybody wants to hook up with assisted living facilities. So I have to know a little bit more about what you're doing to help you there. If our website sucks and I don't know how to make it better, then you need to get a new website. Can I take videos from YouTube to post on my webpage? Nah, not necessarily. You can embed any video you want on your website, but I would make sure that it reflects you. So like if at the end of the, we've had people take our videos and put them on their websites. Well, that doesn't make any sense because at the end of the video there's a phone number and a website that has nothing to do with that company. So I wouldn't do that. I would have my own videos and I would do it that way. Let's see. What is the cost range for a small startup service business in senior living using your company for social marketing? What is the cost range for a small startup service business in senior living using your company for social marketing? Oh, Jenny, thank you for the very nice question. And if you go to our website at ltcsocialmark.com and you click on plans, I believe it's plans, on the top right-hand side, in really little print, just like I told you not to do, then you can see there's 3 different plans. And cost range, I'd say on the low end, you can get something that's really affordable in the 300s, but that depends on who you are, what you need. And the best solution, Jenny, is to talk to George, tell him what you're looking for, and let him put a plan together that really meets your needs. That's the best way to do it. Because he understands small budgets. We all do. We get it. We know everybody's on a small budget, and these are tough economic times, but you need to be presented well. So talk to George about what the options are, and he can put a solution together that will meet your budget needs. What's a good website model to look for that for a photo gallery? Ours is out of date. Help, CadburyCommons.com. Well, Cadbury Commons, if you use WordPress like we do, you can have what's called a portfolio, and what that does is it takes your photos and puts them into a nice portfolio gallery so they're not too big, and it actually helps people be able to click on the photo and it blows it up real big for them so they can look at them. It's just a nicer way. It loads faster. It's not goofy looking with all these big giant pictures. So I would use a WordPress WordPress website, and I would not have an HTML website anymore in this day and age. So if I were you, I would look for a low-cost solution and a nice, clean website that reflects your taste and your brand, and have it redone in something called WordPress. It can still say the same things, but it could be freshened up and have a very nice portfolio of photos. If you go to autumngrove.com, you'll see some examples that each of their assisted living homes, they actually do homes, has some photos of their homes. There's all kinds of pictures throughout, but just to have a portfolio page, WordPress handles that really well with a bunch of pictures on one page. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, everybody, let's see. Anybody else have a question? Last call for questions, and then we're going to wrap her up. Last call for questions. Okay, thanks, everybody. If you want to talk to George, please, please, please go to 888-404-1513 or email him at george@ltcep.com. I thank you for your time and your attention, and we will be sending this replay out to you. Please share it with all of your colleagues. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you to PerfectPlacementSolutions.com for their sponsorship and their helping us put all this together. Thank you, ladies. Bye, everybody.